Well, the great thing about Monaco, apart from the harbour, of course, and the buildings and the heritage and everything that Princess Grace stood for, and of course the breakfast, which is just fruit salad, bit of yogurt, cafe au lait for 25 euros. Apart from all that, the great thing about Monaco is that as soon as they start running, they're just desperate to get out there and get in a free quick lap. Fuel running, well, there may well have been a little bit at the end of FP1 today, but not much of it. Everybody focused on just getting that clean lap in so that they can get some sort of feel for qualifying and hopefully qualifying in the best possible grid position. Many of the Formula One teams breaking new ground, coming up with radical new predictions as they look forward to the Monaco Grand Prix in their press releases, saying track position is everything, qualifying is all important. Yeah, all right, well, we know that. But anyway, it is a good thing for the fans. It's great to be out there watching. Fabulous to watch them still coming through Casino Square, even if that area opposite the Hotel de Paris, which had a certain charm of its own, the Café de Paris, is now potentially some sort of desert-like big screen. I don't know, forget about it, don't want to go there. It goes with everything else at Monaco that is changing over the years. Charm, well, there's a little bit. Here's the old Alexandra Hotel, walked past it yesterday. Famous, of course, for the hotel in which, it's no longer a hotel, it's an apartment block, I think, or office block. But it was in there that Nigel Roebuck was having a croissant and a cafe au lait in '69 at the end of the very early practice on Friday morning, which began at 6:30 in those days. When he looked out across the balcony, he heard this incredible noise, looked out, and it was Chris Amon in the '69 V12 Ferrari on that hill going up, holding the car on the clutch, waiting for the Monaco policeman, the Monegasque policeman, to hold up the traffic and wave him up. And Nigel sat there eating his croissant, absolutely wide-eyed. And sure enough, the gendarme blew his whistle, held up all the traffic, and Chris just laid it and turned left up the hill there to the Ferrari garage, of course, where the Formula One teams used to keep their cars overnight at Monaco. Now everything's down on the harbour front, of course. Anyway, I'm going on a bit, only because it is Monaco, and that was the first Grand Prix I ever attended. I don't know how old I was, probably about 12 or something, but 67 Monaco Grand Prix. I watched from the chicane on Saturday and the station hairpin, when there was a station there still, for the race. Very sadly, we lost Lorenzo Bandini that day, but equally, Denny Hulme won his first Grand Prix for Brabham. Anyway, that's going back a long way. Let's have a look at what happened on Friday in 2022. As I say, everybody going for quick laps. This was what I call the first phase of practice. This was up to the point where Mick Schumacher had a problem with his gearbox and blocked the entrance to the pit lane. They put out a red flag. It was after about 23, 24 minutes. And you can see that everybody went out on hard tyres initially, kind of, that's what you'd expect, except the two Ferraris are on mediums, and they were really quick straight away, although Max would have been, I think, a bit of a shock to them doing a 15.3 on the hard tyres in the Red Bull. Just brilliant to watch. He and Charles, just wonderful to watch. I'd say Charles looks slightly more on the edge, as he usually does these days, but Max completely on top of what he was doing, positioning the car. Wonderful turn into Casino Square on his quick lap up to that point, up to phase one. Slightly left of centre, quite an early turn in, and almost double apex through there going into the left-hander, whereas you see many drivers going in a little bit wider and just taking one apex just to be absolutely on the safe side. Get to see the apex before they get the power on, Carlos Sainz style. But no, Max fabulous through there. Charles too. Lewis Hamilton, sorry, you're back in the camera, just getting a bit of room service there. Sandwich jambon and jus d'orange, ham sandwich and orange juice, 22.7 euros. Anyway, it's Monaco, you got to accept it, haven't you? Lewis Hamilton complaining from the start of bouncing, really bad bouncing in the Mercedes. Couldn't really see it from where I was, couldn't really see it from any of the camera shots, but then again, it would be something they'd be feeling in the car. I went up in the lift last night with a couple of the Mercedes engineers and put forward my theory that they're probably going to go pretty well this weekend if the back end of the car is a bit sort of all over the place, as we saw in Barcelona. It was nonetheless very quick. If the back end is just using the tyres a bit more, I suggested that maybe Monaco would neutralise that. As I said in the video after Barcelona, And they said, well, hope you're right. Yeah, they didn't say, well, that's a load of rubbish. They said, hope you're right. We'll see if I am right. At the moment, you've got to say, they seem to be running perhaps too much downforce. They put downforce on for Monaco, as you would, and as a result, they seem to have got the bouncing back again more than they had in Spain. It's Mercedes, that is. And George Russell, not particularly quick early on while he got that sorted, but pretty good later on. Both McLarens really quick out of the box on the hard tire. And Daniel Ricciardo looking like, oh, wow, it's Monaco. Yeah, let's go and have some fun. And very quick out of the box. Good to see that. Sergio Perez a little bit late out on the track, but looking good. And Pierre Gasly also right up there again with the Alfa Tauri. He's been unhappy with the feel of his car for 2 or 3 races now. They gave him a new monocoque for Barcelona and it improved things a little bit, but not massively. But here in Monaco, it looks like they've got it tuned now, and it's looking pretty good. Let's have a look at phase 2 now. This is obvious. This is of the morning session of FP1 when the track was obviously picking up grip, and we saw drivers continuing to go for very quick single laps. Everybody on the medium tyre now, apart from Vettel, or I think Vettel and Stroll, both Aston Martins on the soft tyre, and Alex Albon as well when he did his lap. But everybody else on the medium tyre. The interesting thing about the medium is it looks to be, like the hard actually, looks to be a very good race tyre. It doesn't matter whether you're doing it on your 4th lap or your 10th lap, you still get a quick time out of it. So yeah, both Pirelli, got to say, seem to be doing a very good job so far this weekend in terms of getting the compounds to be in sync with the evolution of the circuit, if that makes sense. So yeah, as the track picked up grip, I mean, the significant thing about phase 2 of the session this morning was that, well, early afternoon it was very hot, was that Max Verstappen didn't do many laps, and he didn't get a great run in terms of traffic when he was out there. So don't read too much into the 14.7 you see there that Max did. It was, I think, a more significant time was Sergio Perez 14.5 after 10 laps on a set of mediums, which was as good as Charles Leclerc's on the limit, pretty new medium tyre 14.5. And you got to say, if Sergio's doing that lap time, then you got to be thinking Max is going to be doing a 14.0, 14.1. So that will be a bit of a worry for Ferrari, although Charles will be thinking home race, quickest so far, not too bad. This is after FP1, of course. Carlos Sainz used a new set to do 14.6, 10th slower than Charles Leclerc. Max, as I say, 14.7, a traffic-ridden 14.7. Lando, very good, 15.0, basically the same as Pierre Gasly. So big fight there between Alfa Tauri and McLaren, I think, brewing for the weekend. Daniel Ricciardo right there with them as well. And you see there the Mercedes, not too bad, 15.2, 15.4. You've got to assume they're going to be with the McLarens and the Alfa Tauris, but if they don't qualify ahead of them, it could be a difficult, well, obviously it's going to be a difficult weekend for them. So I'm recording this actually after FP1, so I'm interested to see, and I'll follow it up obviously, as to how they go in FP2, where they have picked up pace. When no doubt Ferrari, when I say no doubt, it'd be likely that Ferrari and Red Bull will both start to do some fuel runs for FP2. I usually bang on about top speeds as well, obviously not that significant at Monaco, only significant, I guess, as a litmus test as to how much downforce some teams are able to generate from their car or not. For example, both Williams were quickest through the speed trap, 282, 280, which would suggest that they're not running enough downforce. Charles Leclerc 280, Max Verstappen 279. So very, very similar. And compared with Barcelona, Mercedes a little bit slower in a straight line than the Red Bull and the Ferrari, which would suggest, as I say, that Mercedes are running more downforce, and it is hurting them with the bouncing as well. Anyway, we'll see as the weekend progresses. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.